You can see my screen. You don't have to see my ugly face here. So great to have all of us here this Friday afternoon, closing it up, though, for this week, October 27th. Not for the month, though. Remember, we're coming back on Monday of next week. We got the 30th. We got the 31st, the end of the pay period there. Halloween. So great to see Sam and great to see perhaps those of us rejoining us here this afternoon. And Buenos Aires, as always, to Andrea and Lawrence just a moment ago. And perhaps if you're just joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., we're right back at it here. Now, we will talk about the SPY coming up next. Just stock on the screen to begin. IBRX. Once again, this thing's pushing back up, isn't it? Well, hey, earlier today, it ended up having a tough time trying to get up higher from 250, and then it broke under. All right, well, just like we taught in class all throughout this week, this month in the phase 1 course, we were focusing more on charts and the basic charting principles, like real introductory strategies, and not just introductory, but really the core strategies, that being support becoming resistance. So the first test being the best test, resistance held here, no surprise. That is honestly like the most expected outcome that we could see happen, at least on any trade scenario. Support should initially become resistance. And in the rare instance where it blows right through resistance, like the first attempt right there, then you could see that become support perhaps over time. But let's see over here if this could begin to re-break. The re-break part is what we want to focus on for this afternoon, if you're not joining us in class at least. So you know what, IBRX, it's tradable. It's up a lot percentage-wise. It's been up a lot throughout this whole week. But when you say the word a lot, or the phrase a lot, I mean, what is that really, like how much is a lot really? Because again, I'm going to bring this example up probably for the next couple months here, but TPST up 3,000%, right? Geez. Even from earlier this week, we had the ABVC stock that was up huge yesterday in pre-market. INVO, if you even forgot, if you forgot about that, that was even from Monday this week, 300% gainer. So when you think about IBRX, like, is it possible to see it continue? In the sense that we just kind of brought up with TPST and whatnot, why not? Now, let's just make sure higher lows can continue to build. Let's make sure 250 can get broken through again later on and all that stuff. So, we'll add this to our list. Looks good for right now. Now, again, though, we have class coming up at 3:05 Eastern time, finish up class week. Class for the month of October, phase 2 stock course. We'll be talking more about the SPY there. So actually, let me segue now here to the SPY. Looks like we're trying to get a small squeeze up. I was going to say this just heading into this meeting, but I have no position on it now. SPY finally broke below my support. It was holding over it for the last 24 plus hours at 412 and change, 412 and 25 cents, right around that area, give or take, a few pennies there. So I was looking for that move up, caught a good bounce during class time, and then from there, well, it's just the lower high game. You couldn't get a higher high. Even from here, this is not a true higher high from where we were seeing this trade back yesterday, right? It was still making lower highs there. And with that, we eventually had a bad lower low. So it's dropped all the way down towards 410. 410 could be a bit of a psychological level on the SPY. How does that line up with the SPX, though? So that does line up pretty well, at least with 4110 here for right now. You have 4100 looming. So is that truly the bottom? This little squeak up here. Oh, is that going to be the real squeeze that we were looking for from 412? We'll see. Let's see what Bookmap has to say on this, because earlier there wasn't really anything impressive with good buying volume to create support. And it was pulling back here. That's where I was thinking, okay, well, probably go lower heading into the close. Well, we started to get a little bit more volume that came in around that 410. So here we did get a squeeze. Question is, though, are we going to get the shorts squeezed out? Anyone that's late to the party here on the SPY drop-off, are they going to get squeezed out, or are we going to see a little bit more chop heading into the afternoon? Because if those can get squeezed out, that could begin more of a domino effect for a larger run up. I'll be in class, so I'd rather that not happen, to be honest, there between you and I. I'd rather just wake up Monday morning, get ready to go again for a whole brand new week, load up on some calls at that point. But yeah, I mean, heading into the afternoon here, you would definitely need to see a higher high at that. And then from there, support to build. So we still haven't even gotten a higher high. The squeeze up still the whole damn day so far, afternoon, and especially since the last couple of days. It's been frustrating. It's been very frustrating at that, right? You want to get a nice big bounce. You have the right levels. but then there's no juice to follow. There's no momentum after where it's like, all right, well, if we're going to get lower highs or equal highs, like double top, more prone to a lower low over time. So it's pretty unfortunate today. Now, we're going to talk all about this, though, in the phase 2 stock course, like going real further in terms of charting the SPY and even the SPX perhaps, or how it could correlate with that. Let's just go right to the gainers list here, though. What could join the IBRX? Let's find out. And I got to reset my 24-hour here first. There we go. Well, we're not trading this stock. That's the start. FRBN, obviously looking at the volume, you could tell, but just looking at this chart, this is like way too crazy here. I don't know what's happening, but very low volume, perhaps even a new IPO or SPAC, special purpose acquisition company. Actually, that's what it seems to be from the watermark. We got SPAC, and then we got SPEC here, SPEC, Spectator Holdings. I guess a new IPO or maybe even a special acquisition company too. Dropped off at least over the past week or so, and not really much happening here on the intraday. I saw a few of us trade the nerd stock earlier today. NRDS ended up making a nice steady push from the lows. It was like more of a grinder, though, kind of looking for a higher high, stronger breakout. Never really got that stronger breakout. Hey, we'll take a trend, but ended up moving up from like 850-ish up towards 975, 980, and then pulled back. IBRX, again, we have on our list already. So let's see what else we could add there. This is Decker's Outdoor Group. I could not believe when I saw this, let alone 577. I wouldn't have thought this would be a $500 stock. It goes to show how little I know about this company. Intel, hey, off good earnings. This was a great trade from the morning session, right? Intel is such a high float stock. It trades like, a ton of outstanding shares. It's a heavy volume trade normally, which you'd say is good. Tradable stock. It was a great pop from earlier. It's not as often that we'll tend to see this like really run up and break new highs. And hey, if the markets keep chopping sideways and down, then it's going to be really hard for this to swim upstream. You know what? We're not really at an overwhelmingly big list. I'll come back to this at the end. I could slap this on at the end if I really want. The Amazon trade, not really looking that great right now. Looks like the SPY is trying. It's trying. Keyword try. Still haven't really seen a convincing higher high just yet. And we're not even at my main level again at 412 and change. So, I had nothing plotted, honestly, between this and 410. And I wasn't necessarily expecting 410 to be home base. I was thinking that could be 412. So, I'm definitely hands off on the SPY for right now. Even if it does pop a little bit more from here, I'm going to be hands off. All right, so let's just see what else we could grab, though. Amazon was squeaking up a tiny amount, but I passed on that. Intel, we have on our side list. We'll come back to that if we need to. Let's see gold stock up. EGO. There we go. Big shout out to our lovely friend Grant here inside our live trading room. So, EGO led to a nice breakout this morning, bouncing right now. Just, it's a Friday afternoon. I want to see something at the highs. Give me something already near or at the highs. I reckon IBRX is on its way. It's a lot closer to the highs than it is the lows. Beyond Meat, maybe a short squeeze there. Nah, not looking that great. Groupon, same deal. All right, let's hop over to the loser side here, folks. If there's anything looking good, though, all across the board, type it in the chat board. Definitely let me know. Ooh, this is a B trade. You know what? The volume's so bad, like trading 1,000, 2,000 shares per minute. Order book is not the best looking. This chart looks really cool, though. Really nice drop off. Looks like it wants to break lower. Just the volume's kind of detracting me, though, from taking this. It's all right. PTCT, same deal. That's just more flat than anything. Ooh, this TSV. Oh, this is the one from yesterday. Oh, this is the one from yesterday we had on the watch list, right? In the afternoon, we said, oh, this could be a nice short breaking all-time lows. It's a little, it's not too close to the ground floor. Well, hey, from 230 onward, it didn't really drop off as nicely. A little drop into the 330 session there, but this is the better of the move that we wanted yesterday afternoon, and really goes to show, hey, there was a lot of room left to short this stock. There still could be. You know what? The way it's trending down, actually, the lower this gets, the more I'd say no to. But you know what? This is on the way down to the next support at $2. It's already at all-time lows in terms of charting. I'll give it a look. We don't call it the CTU you must trade the stock list. We call it the CTU watch list, meaning let's start with this list and then we'll kind of expand our horizons, at 330. EMPH, done. Ford. Looks like it's trending down, but it's such a slow trade. I don't expect anything really more than what you got here this afternoon. Plus, with like options expiring for the week, you probably have a ton of volume lingering around that 10 level. Overstock, or now soon to be known as Beyond, right? I think they're rebranding their online as Beyond, as in Bed Bath Beyond they purchased, but let's see. Not at all-time lows, but definitely multi-year lows. Looking at that, right? So good drop. Yeah, we're going to add this to our list. Good short with the TVST trade. A little bit more liquid here on the order book, perhaps. So we like that. All right, so we have B. We have the short on B, which isn't on our list. That one's not on our list, like just regular, the letter B. But we got B here, BE, as in Bloom Energy. And this stock we are actually pretty familiar with. We've traded this up and down over the years off of news or earnings. And this one, definitely, we are a lot more familiar with. Oh, my time and sales actually just realized, though. I didn't realize the time is frozen there on time and sales. There we go. Let's reset this right now for us. If you were wondering why that was not going, well, that's why. All right, so yeah, for right now, BE, I'll definitely add to our watch list here. Bloom as a short. Normally, Under Armour, it's not a great trade in the afternoon. It looks like a nice short, but I just feel like it's not going to be really worth it. We've seen this one in the past. All right, so back to the SPY. It leaves us right back to the SPY and right back to, well, not making a higher high. We got a lot of time. We got like an hour and 15 minutes to try and see a better squeeze up. So for anyone that's bullish off 410, you could walk out a winner, but that is not me. My end is not up on that one. You knew my levels going all throughout this week. 417 and 50. Actually, before that, 422.50, 417.50, and then basically 412.25. This bottom blue, and with that, once it smashed below this, I had no interest in the SPY any further. I mean, it could be a good spot to buy puts, but long term, I'm looking for a bounce. We're going to talk more about this in class coming up. So we'll leave it at that. Hey, let me know if there's anything, lastly, folks, up, down, left, right, that you'd want me to look at. I'm checking all of our chat right now on social media, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, etc. We appreciate you folks joining us each and every day, each and every afternoon, and whatnot. Here's my email address, josh@ctutrading.com. Any questions that you got, feel free to shoot me over a quick email. I do have to get back to a couple of us throughout this week. All right, we're teaching all throughout this week. So private chat is the most direct way to get in touch with me if you are a member inside our live trading room. I've been going back and forth with a ton of us today, and I mean that in a good way. I say it for a reason. I'm mostly accessible via private chat inside the live trading room. And then from that point afterwards, certainly send over a few emails, folks, if you have any questions. But then that's where I say, at least because we're in class week, give me a couple grace days. We'll be able to clear the inbox at least by Sunday, get back to everybody there. But then otherwise, make sure that you're followed up to all of our social media channels, especially those of us inside our trading room already. Hey, spread the word at Cyber Trading U on YouTube and Twitter specifically. Look us up just on Facebook, Cyber Trading University, full name there. All right, so hey, folks, enjoy the weekend, and then hey, actually, I didn't check Benzinga, so let me do that. I'd like to see at least the SPY make a nicer move up, but at this stage, let's try and see that not happen so much into the close today, but perhaps into early next week. I'd like to see that. So SPEC, that's the only one. SPEC is the only one that we're looking at as far as when it's looking like this, not so much. So yeah, we're gonna pass on Spectaire Holdings, we'll say. All right, folks. Hey, best of luck trading if you're not joining me in class, but I'm going to refill up your water bottle here. We'll be good to go coming up in just about 20 minutes time for the phase 2 stock course. Talk to you all soon.